part of the end of Civil War was a 5-part series called The Death of Captain America. And it focused on a different character in each issue dealing with the different stages of grief. And it is one of the best collected editions. Like, I've got the collected series, The Death of Captain America, and it is one of the best comic series I've ever read. Wolverine, I think, is Anger. Um,
Really?
right. Or either Wolverine's either Anger or Denial, one of the two. Um,
No, just
Pete,
the actor who plays him is in denial.
right. Peter is Depression, maybe. I don't remember the division of the stages and the characters and whatnot, but it focuses on the 5 stages of grief and a different character affected by Steve's death, um, and it's a really good thing. I don't know how this is going to end because I don't know. Now I will say this though. I felt like this was the culmination of the Marvel universe, of the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Mhm.
Um, and uh,
I I I thought that Infinity War was going to be the culmination.
well, you would think that, but I think if you look at the Marvel universe,
I
you
mean,
it's
I understand that like Civil War was like no, there has been no like none of their huge events has been as big as Civil War. Like
right, exactly,
in the past 10 years has
right.
been that big. Like
But
even Avengers versus X-Men, which was like supposedly going to be like huge, was
was a flop.
kind
Yeah.
yeah.
Um, but the thing is, the yes, Infinity War. We're building toward Infinity War, and yes, Infinity War is going to be everybody. I mean, there. I think they've said 68 characters are going to be in that movie. Like 68 hero characters are going to be in that movie. Um,
God.
so I mean, they're talking about even bringing uh, Agents of Shield into the actual cinematic universe and crossing over the entire thing. Um,
Not just doing you doing a Snapchat thing with them
right, exactly.
for a
Um,
spin-off.
right. They're talking about the Defenders from Netflix. They're talking about Agents of Shield. They're talking about the entirety of the Marvel Cinematic Universe converging in Infinity War. Um, it's going to be the most expensive superhero movie ever made, hands down. Um, but the Civil War trailer for and just the things I've seen, especially this one, it feels like this is what we've been building toward. You have Guardians kind of off on its own thing, and even Thor, the Thor the two Thor movies are kind of their own, almost their own thing too, save for Loki. But it feels like this is what everything has built toward. You've had Tony's journey of through the 3 Iron Man movies to get to this point, and you had the events of the 2 Avengers movies and the events of Winter Soldier, and it just feels like everything has kind of led us to this moment. And once this movie is over and the smoke clears, the new it's going to be a new uh, landscape for the Marvel Cinematic Universe after Civil War is over. Um, I just think that this is where we've been going since Iron Man 1. This is what we've been working for.
Well, then
Uh,
that and see that would kind of tie into what I've been kind of wondering is that I mean I almost feel like and I hate to say it because I'm the naysayer, but 'cause I still love the movies, but I almost feel like we're reaching a saturation point. with the superhero movies.
Yeah.
We are. I think I don't disagree. 100. I don't 100% disagree, but at the same time, I think
I mean, as long as people, as long as they keep making money and they keep doing them well, we're going to keep seeing them. But it's just kind of like I'm almost wondering if we're about to see how. I'm wondering if we're about to see the whole thing jump the shark.
I don't think we're going to see it with Marvel because Marvel Studios having it in-house, having it run by Marvel what's made it work. Because the problem with DC is DC's not running that show. Warner Brothers is running that show. Zack Snyder is running that show.
Right.
DC Comics is not running that show. Marvel Comics has been running the Marvel Cinematic Universe since Iron Man. They created a film studio specifically to bring comic books to life, and that's why it works, is they have comic book people who know the product making these movies. And there's a passion going into the Marvel Cinematic Universe that these other properties don't have. The X-Men property is run by Fox. They're not run by anyone who has anything to do with the comic books. Fantastic Four is run by Fox. Daredevil.
You mean run into the ground by Fox?
Right. Not Daredevil. Deadpool worked because of Ryan Reynolds and his love for the character.
How on earth did you confuse those two movies?
Just
because the TV show.
It's
the Netflix TV show.
Alliteration.
Yeah.
It's the alliteration.
Now, look, I will say, like, when I went to go see Deadpool, I've seen it twice. It's an awesome movie, right? The first time I went to go see it, I was there early enough that I sat through all the previews, and I really don't like the fact that over the course of 15 minutes of previews, it was nothing but superhero movies.
See,
that's too much. You know,
see, I will actually go against you on that because I have gone to superhero movies where they show trailers for Insidious Chapter 3, and I'm sitting there like...
No, I get why they did it, but I'm saying it lends to what you're saying about the idea of oversaturation. When there's that many coming up at once,
but
that's
what
like
were
overwhelming. They? Oh, God. It's been a couple weeks now. Let's see. Of course, it was, I think, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was one.
Okay.
But
see, I don't consider Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles to be a superhero movie.
That's a kids movie.
I don't feel like Ninja Turtles falls under the superhero genre. I think Ninja Turtles just falls under its own thing. It's just an adaptation of a cartoon.
Yeah, comic book superhero.
I mean, yeah, they're superheroes, I guess.
You
but I've
see
never
it more in line with like the manga than a superhero comic book. Kind of
yes, I've never considered the Ninja Turtles to be superheroes. They're just what they are.
They're heroes in a half shell.
They're just Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
And so, but go ahead. I mean,
no, I mean I agree that we're seeing like that sometimes like one I think the trailers are just excessive, but I would rather see and this is my soapbox is that I'd rather see trailers for movies that are actually similar to what you're going to see than to be like, ooh, we got a PG-13 movie so we can show, this scary crap that, even though this is a family movie, we'll show Insidious trailers and freak out your kids.
Mm-hmm.
Well, but we've talked about this. They don't think that far ahead. All they think about is getting that trailer in front of as many people as possible.
Oh, I get it. I'm just saying that, like my realistic view, because I also understand that, we can't censor it, like say, well, who's to say what can and can't be shown. My personal point of view is that the easiest way to solve it is to, if you're going to see a horror movie, then you should expect to see horror movie trailers. If you're going to see an action movie, and I would say with superhero movies, action movie, if you want to show me action movie trailers, that's fine. Like, it doesn't have to be superhero, but show me action movies.
Yeah. And I get that. Go ahead, Mikey.
Okay, so I was just thinking, because I remember you saying this when it first came out, and you're like, oh my god, I can't believe we probably did this. I think the theater picks the trailer, correct? And they're going to pick what's coming to their theater to make you come back.
On some level, yes, the theaters get a little bit of say, but there are trailers that are contractually obligated to run with certain movies.
Yeah. Yeah.
I remember when we started this, and you had said, I remember you talked about specifically Insidious, and I was like, I did not see that preview when I went to the theater.
Yeah, no,
It's the exact same movie.
like it definitely is not per se like nationwide. Like there are the ones that like you're gonna see like Star Wars
Star Wars,
was
yeah.
going to be shown at like when that trailer came out, it was going to be shown everywhere for that genre.
Right.
But like no, I mean like, and I'll admit that I go to the cheap theater, so yeah, they might not use as much tact with the trailers that they put on.
Right. But as far as like there are trailers that ship with the movie. When
Yeah.
the theater gets the movie, it has trailers that came with it that you're supposed to run. And again, the studio wants to get, and even the theaters when they have a library of trailers they can use, they want to get that trailer in front of as many eyes as possible. And to do that, you're going to put it in front of Batman versus Superman. You're going to put it in front of Civil War. You're going to put it in front of the Hunger Games. You're going to put it in front of anything you can that is going to be a big box office movie, so that you can get it's a numbers game. You want as many people as possible to see this movie, to see this trailer, and it kind of goes back to the problem with the rating system. There needs to be something between PG-13 and R.
Oh yeah, I mean we need to have the. I was discussing this with somebody recently online. I can't remember who. Kate Bunch, Chase,
Yes.
whatever.
Yes.
How there needs to be because even with rated R, there needs to be something between PG-13 and R, and there needs to be but they need the TV ratings and game rating systems where once you get to a certain point, it's like, no, kid, you should not bring your kids to see this. And
but the ratings, nobody listens to. I mean, clearly, there were people that went to see Deadpool, that took their kids to see Deadpool because it's a comic book movie.
Well, that's just people that don't pay attention.
Exactly. It's the people that yell at the video clerk because they rented Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah.
And so, but go ahead.
Which is funny because the very next day, I went to GameStop to pick up a Funko Pop for Kelly for her birthday, and the day after I saw Deadpool, and there was a guy there who his grandson wanted Call of Duty Ghosts or something, whatever.
Ugh, that's the worst Call of Duty.
I'm just saying a Call of Duty title that I know the name.
That's a bad father.
But the guy was like, "This is rated M, so it's probably not appropriate for your kid." And he was like, "Oh, really?" But the clerk actually said something.
Yeah,
right.
And that's fine. But there's really no excuse. It's not on the onus of the business. It's the parent. And we all have these wonderful devices in our pocket at every second of our lives. That if our kid goes, "Hey, Dad, I'd really like to play the new Medal of Honor." Okay, what's the name of it? Tap, tap, tap. Oh, yeah, you won't be playing that, son. It's really not difficult. 30 seconds of research is all it takes to become an informed parent now.
And that's what I did. James is like, "Can I see Deadpool?" No. Okay, we moved on with our lives.
Well, but see, here's the other part, is that there are parents who actually know, and they just don't care.
They don't care. No, you're right. They don't care.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, that's just the relationship some parents have with their kids. And not all kids are whiny little bitches. They're not weak.
Right.
In America, kids over here are sheltered from everything, and everything under the sun is scary to them and stuff like that. You go to Europe, you see boobs in commercials, nobody cares.
Right.
You go to Africa, you actually see people beheaded in the street, and kids are watching that in real time. So for someone to go, oh, we have to shelter our kids from movie violence and boobies, I'm like,
Oh, I
shut up,
mean,
shut up.
I mean,
You know?
no, it's definitely first world problems.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'll gladly take my first world problems and tell my 12-year-old daughter, no, you're not going to see this movie, and even when I think
Yeah.
you're old enough to see it, you're not going to watch it in the same room as me because that'd just be awkward.
And
Right.
that's your place as a parent. But you're not also freaking out at the attendant for selling you a ticket to
Oh
the
no,
movie.
no,
Right.
You know?
I wouldn't because it's not the
Right.
attendant's fault that if I were to do it, it wouldn't be the attendant's fault that I'm a shitty ass parent.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Exactly. That's what it comes down
And
to.
no, trust me, I was on if you were still on Facebook, you would have seen 1,500 posts from me over the weekend about how Deadpool is not for kids, and it pissed me off when I was at the theater and I saw kids as young as 5 in there.
Okay, yeah, well, that's a problem. Like, personally, at 12 years old, I would have seen Deadpool and I'd have loved
Oh,
it.
see,
Uh,
now here's I would have seen it at 12, but my mom would have had nothing to do with me seeing it at 12. I would have because that was part of the cycle of growing up. Is your parents say you can't watch this, and you sneak around and watch it anyways.
Right.
Well, that's part of growing up is learning how to do things and not get caught.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, that's
Right.
part of growing up. But I
So,
mean,
yes,
probably shouldn't be saying this on a podcast that children listen to, but
Yeah.
we all know.
Obey the law.
Right.
Yeah.
I had one of my students, after class one day came up and was like, "Oh, by the way, if you, because my students ask me all the time, are you going to see this movie? Are you going to see this movie?" I had a kid ask me 4 different times, "Are you going to go see Deadpool?" And I kept saying, "I don't go to the movies. I don't get to go to the movies. I have a 2-year-old." And one of the kids in class was even like, "He has a 2-year-old. He doesn't go to the movies. He told you that." I don't get to go to the movies very often.
I just steal them online.
Right? I was like, the planets have aligned in such that I get to see Batman because it opens on Good Friday. I don't know how that happened. And the kids and I have Good Friday off, and so it just worked out that we get to go see Batman because we got the day off. Otherwise, I don't know if I'd even get to see Batman Superman in the theaters. Civil War, I am going to see that whether I have to see it by myself. I am going to see that movie in the theaters. Those are the only 2 movies this year and Rogue One and Star Wars Rogue One in December that I can guarantee you I will see in the theater. I probably won't see much more.
Yeah.
Because I don't get to go to the movies. Kid comes up to me after class and he's like, "Oh, by the way, I know you don't get to go to the movies very often." And he goes, "You can watch Deadpool right here." I'm like, "Dude, you can't do this. Like, stop it. Stop.
You can't do this right now, man.
Like,
Be in
go
the parking lot in 30 minutes and we'll talk about theft then." But
plausible deniability. Get away from me right now.
if I come back into my desk later and I see somebody, I don't know who, wrote the address down on my notepad, that's one thing. But don't just show me now.
Right.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean,
absolutely did.
A lot of these things, it in my opinion, it truly does come down to the parent. Like when I saw Straight Outta Compton last year, I guess it was awesome movie. Not intended for anyone under the age of 18, obviously. And honestly, I don't know how it could be enjoyed fully by anybody under the age of 30 because you don't remember NWA. And
Right.
I was in there, and I was, easily one of the oldest people in the room. And at one point, this young lady came in. She was probably 22, and she had her 5-year-old son with her, and she was like 2 rows in front of me, and I was like, "What the hell is that? What the hell is that?" The band did not even exist when you were born. It was gone. It was gone by then.
For her, Ice Cube makes zany family movies.
Exactly, and you brought a child to watch a movie about the rise of a rap group that came from a bunch of drug dealers and gangbangers. They may be role models now.
Only one of them is still legitimately involved in the business. The other one is making, have we killed this franchise yet?
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. It's like they may be role models now in terms of being legends in the music industry and stuff like that, but at the time they were pretty rough individuals.
Oh yeah.
They were not good people.
No, I mean, let's see. Eazy-E died of AIDS, like not too long after he left, after
Yeah,
NWA broke up.
yeah,
Dr. Dre,
real
his
AIDS too, not the AIDS of today that's all glamorous and stuff. That AIDS got you back then.
Right.
yeah, this
Back
was
before
before
it was
this was
called
before
AIDS.
before we found out that we could just take Magic Johnson's money and insert it into our
Yeah,
veins
just
to cure us
grind
of
it.
AIDS.
Yeah,
Right.
AIDS. Oof, he had all the AIDS back then.
But
Like
All of them.
Had
all
all
of them,
the
man.
AIDS.
Yeah, like Charlie Sheen AIDS. You know, he's really brought it back though. Like he's we all took AIDS for granted the last decade or so, but Charlie really showed us what it was all about.
but
Apparently that's what happens when you blow trannies. Who knew? Who
Right.
knew?
and then Dr. Dre is, I don't know what Dr. Dre is, because like
Did you forget about Dre?
He's made of money.
no, I didn't forget about him. He's become irrelevant unless you talk about headphones.
You can't forget about Dre.
Well, he doesn't even own that anymore. He sold it to Apple, I think, for
Yeah.
like
Yeah, and
$4 billion.
and they are the worst product.
They are. They're terrible.
Really?
If you're gonna
Yeah.
spend that much money on headphones, buy Bose.
Yep.
Like,
That's-
don't buy Beats.
I
Beats are
I
the worst.
I bought a pair of Beats at Christmas time last year, and within 6 months they had broken.
I mean, they are Rihanna's favorite headphones, but
Who the hell is
That's
Rihanna?
That's because
Okay,
she
so-
likes to get beat.
unless you like, see, the joke only works if you understand that Rihanna is a R&B artist that was beat up by her boyfriend Chris Brown, who is also an R&B
Oh,
artist.
Sorry.
But no, she doesn't like Beats by Dre. She only likes Beats by Brown.
Right, that's true.
I mean, did she have it coming or?
Well, she stayed with him.
Oh, maybe she did.
Not for much longer though.
Maybe she did run into that doorknob. I mean,
So
she's
so
just
I-
really clumsy. She's got a lot of stairs in her house.
Right.
The cat always gets between her legs as she, is walking
She
down.
tripped over her umbrella. Ella.
Hey!
So I got to go back to DC and Marvel for a second. Apparently, after watching Legends of Tomorrow, Martin Donovan is a dick in both Marvel Cinematic Universe and in DC Universe.
Donovan.
You're gonna have to.
The bad guy from Ant-Man, who was also the guy who tried to kill Rory in Legends of Tomorrow.
Oh,
His
okay.
mentor.
Didn't know his name.
Okay. The pirate.
No, not this past week, like a couple weeks ago, episode 4, when they're in Russia.
Oh, God, that was so long ago. I don't even remember.
But he's the guy who Michael Douglas punches in Ant-Man.
Right. No, I know who you're talking about in Ant-Man. I don't remember. I don't recall in
He was the
in
mentor
Legends.
of Rip Hunter in Legends of Tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. Well, while we're on the topic of movies, some rather big news came out that affects you directly, Eric. Your favorite franchise in the world, The Matrix. I'm starting to wonder if it was an allegory about being trans. in
Oh,
a
yeah.
man's world.
Yeah, no, I did,
Both the Wachowskis
really-
are ladies now.
yeah, I didn't really care. It's
No.
now they just have to change everything from the Wachowski brothers to the Wachowski sisters.
Yeah, I mean,
I mean I don't honestly, as far as that goes, I don't care. I mean,
I don't think anybody does.
it doesn't. As long as their movies don't become shit.
Oh, they will. I mean, they're just
I
going to
mean,
be all emotional
let me put
about
it
everything.
this way: as long as they don't keep making Speed Racer movies,
Oof.
Right. Oh
Because
God,
they're-
that movie.
because
Was it that
actually
bad?
most of their movies have been kind of crap. So
Yeah. Did you not watch Speed Racer?
I didn't want a seizure. That
James
runs-
and I
runs in the
left.
family.
James and I left.
Mhm.
It's one of the few movies I've ever walked out on.
Well, like right now, I miss school today because I'm down with a migraine, and I'm in a completely pitch black room right now because of that. And when I saw the commercials for Speed Racer, I was like, oh, it's just a headache waiting to happen.
Well, see, here's the thing. Speed Racer has the Fast and the Furious has more racing in it than Speed Racer does. The racing, I was like, this is a movie called Speed Racer.
But they both exist in the same world of in the same world.
Why don't we? Why are we not racing? And I could not get into it because the audio, the dialogue, and their mouths matched, and I just can't watch Speed Racer like that.
So all the actors should have been speaking Japanese, but we dubbed it.
Right. And if John Goodman didn't once go ha ha, and I just couldn't do it. But yeah, oh god, that movie, it was awful. It was so bad.
I eventually saw it. I mean, and this was back in the days when I would actually get movies not in the most legal way, and that's probably the only reason I ever saw that movie is because I
wouldn't have sucked if that's the movie you got busted for.
Oh my god, that would no, it would have sucked worse if it had been.
It's like, I have the Godfather trilogy. Why couldn't you arrest me for that? Why'd you arrest me for Speed Racer?
But I gotta say, it would be even worse if Kelly downloaded a movie illegally on my computer and downloaded Sex and the City 2, and that's the one that got me busted. I unfortunately have seen that movie, and
I got a cease and
Racer
desist.
was actually better.
I got a cease and desist letter from my ISP for downloading Glitter.
That would be embarrassing.
Sir, you downloaded Geely?
We're not here to arrest you for downloading it per se. We're here to arrest you because you just have really horrible taste.
We're here to take you into custody for your own good.
Yeah.
You're clearly a danger to yourself.
We're not taking you to jail. We're taking you to Terrell for a 72-hour hold because there's
Right.
something happening with you.
Right, exactly. So, but yeah, on the topic 30 minutes ago, that's Spider-Man though. Dude, that they took that right off the page. I mean, that suit, it's got some tweaks to it, but I love the suit. The mechanical iris eyepieces that actually close and give him some facial expression with his eyes.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that Tony calls him Underoos. Like, God.
Yeah, I did enjoy that.
Oh my God, it was great. And yeah, like Spidey looks amazing. And the part of the trailer that got me, honestly though, was when Tony said, "Stand down, last warning," and Steve says, "I can do this all day," which was the callback to First Avenger when scrawny Steve was getting beat up in the alley and he picked up the trash can lid as the beat you over the head foreshadowing.
Yeah.
Oh God, I was just like, he said the thing.
He said the thing that we all liked.
Yeah. And I seriously sat at lunch and watched that on a loop for 5 times in a row.
Oh,
Today.
looking for all the little...
Oh God, it was amazing. And I mean, Ant-Man riding the arrow, that is straight out of the comics. I mean, this movie is just, I can't wait.
Yeah, it looks good.
Can't wait.
So I thought, TJ, when you said about my favorite series ever, even though we've never, BJ.
I don't know.
Whichever J you are.
TJ Hooker? Okay.
AJ, BJ, TJ, CJ, whatever J. FJ.
HJ.
Guy J.
Nobody is going to choose HJ over BJ anytime. There is no circumstance where that's the case.
Oh, Eric, speaking of, Eric, you'll appreciate this. That's what Steph couldn't think of Goldfinger's flunkey's name, and that's the first place she went. I was like, his name is not Handjob, it's Oddjob. She's like, whatever. She's like, they have characters named Pussy Galore. It's
in
not a far
movie.
stretch. I was like, you're not wrong, but his name is not Handjob.
Pussy Galore is in that movie. So,
I know.
but when BJ, when you were talking about like my favorite series. I thought you were actually referring to all the news about the Dark Tower series being made.
Oh, no.
Even though I've never discussed the fact that I'm a huge Dark Tower fan with you. But,
We passively mentioned it in an episode like 3 years ago.
Right.
But
So-
yeah, it's kind of racist to her to be talking about hand jobs, seeing how the guy was Asian. I mean, like, just because he's Asian doesn't mean he's going to give you a rub and tug. Okay?
hold on,
They don't all do that.
Hold on, BJ. That's being racist by you because he obviously does not work in a nail salon. So
Me love you long time.
Yeah, he gives you
or
the
as a
fucky fucky
masseuse.
Or at a donut shop.
face. What is that all about, by the way?
I don't know.
I mean, it's totally fine. They make awesome donuts.
They do. They do.
They don't like
I'm
being
missing
called
something
Tay.
here.
Ah,
What better?
I'm missing something.
The mic.
Asians.
Oh yes,
Asians are
much
better.
But Asians and donuts.
Asians are better.
They are. I
Asians are
mean,
better.
you just look at the test scores, and it's true.
Oh God, it wouldn't be an episode without a little racism.
But this is not. Well, I guess it is racism.
Critical Asian father. You learning C++? Why not A? Why not basic A?
Oh God.
Chingy changa chong, chingy ching chong.
Stop it.
But have you, Chris? I know you've seen that meme,
I have, yeah.
and that one just goes with it. Like computer science, you learning C++? Why you not learn A?
Yeah.
But they can sure build the hell out of a railroad. Let me tell you.
Oh my God.
You get me 200 Chinamen and 500 Irish, I'll make you a railroad today.
And one strapping black man named John.
Oh, Big John.
Are you speaking to the duly appointed sheriff of Rock Ridge?
Wait, you guys got a black man for sheriff?
He worked in Blazing Saddles? Oh God. So, I'm gonna completely shift
Those
gears.
movies would not work today.
No, they wouldn't. No, Mel Brooks could almost not make a movie today.
Except for I don't know how true it is, but I've heard rumors of Spaceballs.
It's not true. The poster was a fake, but Mel Brooks thought it was hilarious. Did you see the poster?
Mm-mm.
It was Dark Helmet's helmet, and it looked like Vader's helmet from The Force Awakens. And it says, like at the top, it says something like "The Schwartz awakens even harder" or something like that. And then it was Spaceballs: The Quest for More Money, the teaser poster.
That's pretty good.
And someone like put them up all over New York, and people lost their minds over it on the internet. And then about 3 days later, it came out that it was a hoax, and it's just some guy playing a prank. And then
That's
like
actually a pretty cool looking poster, though. I just pulled it up.
TMZ or somebody finally caught up with Mel Brooks and was like, "What did you think?" He was like, "That's hilarious. Like, we're not doing it, but that was really funny."
I don't think he could actually do anything now. Not because of his style of humor, but I mean he's got to be in his 80s now.
Well, his
Yeah.
son. I mean, his son is the one who's carrying the mantle now.
Yeah, it was funny because
Yeah.
it was hilarious. When Max Brooks was interviewed on Nerdist, and he was talking about World War Z and that his dramatic realization of World War Z is the audiobook because he grew up dyslexic, and his mom would buy the audiobooks or go to the library and get him the audiobooks of the required reading for school, and that's how he would do his reading, and that's how he got through grade school. And so he has this deep appreciation for the genre of audiobooks, and it's funny to hear him say "my mom" and "my dad" when he's talking about Mel Brooks and Anne Bancroft.
Yeah.
It's just so weird because I'm
Yeah.
like, that's not your mom and dad. That's Mel Brooks and Anne Bancroft.
Well,
Yeah.
what I find hilarious is just going with famous kids and famous parents now. I don't know if you guys have heard of the author Joe Hill. He wrote Horns.
Okay.
Well,
I know that. I know
and
the
I
I know
saw the movie.
the material.
I saw the movie about 18 months ago, and Joe Hill is not his last name. Hill is his middle name. His last
What
name
is?
is King.
Oh, nice.
Oh, yeah. I remember.
And like I've actually I've read through Stephen King's latest short stories, and he puts in there one to Joe Hill, and then I was reading one of his older books from like the 80s, and it said to Joe Hill King. So it was it's kind of cool to me that and then when I found out who Joe Hill was after watching that movie, I was like, well, now that makes sense.
Yeah, it's just hard for me to understand how someone could have sex with Stephen King. I mean, he's such a creepy looking man, and now,
Yeah,
no,
but the same thing about Christopher Walken.
yeah,
Christopher Walken has even when he plays a good guy, he just has those eyes just freak me the hell out.
Speaking of Christopher Walken, I talked to someone that went to Walker Stalker con this past weekend, which is the Walking Dead con in Dallas, and she said that she was walking around Artist Alley, and there was this painting this guy did of like Wolverine and Punisher and a couple of other of those kinds of Marvel heroes, and there's a pool table with guns all over this pool table, and they're all standing around looking at these guns on this pool table. And she asked the guy, she's like, "Is the Punisher Christopher Walken?" And he goes, "Yes, the Punisher is Christopher Walken. The piece is called Weapon of Choice."
Nice.
I was like, "That's amazing." Like
Which
I
is
was
also
just I was
that
just
was
in
one of
awe of that story. I
yeah.
that was one
like,
of the greatest music videos of all time.
that artist is so like that guy just he had it. That's a level of clever that just I was really impressed with. Like I want to go buy that painting now. Um, but yeah, so
Oh,
I
hang on.
want
Has
to go ahead.
has anybody, speaking of Walking Dead, watched this season? I haven't. I saw like the first episode.
I watched
I
like
haven't
the
watched.
first 2 or 3 episodes this season, and I watched the mid-season premiere,
Mhm.
and don't feel like I missed anything in that gap. And
Yeah.
I'm kind of over it. I am gonna watch the season finale simply because the script apparently made Andrew Lincoln physically ill,
Oh.
and I'm intrigued at the concept. But when I was like 5 or 6 episodes behind, and came into the mid-season premiere and the previously on The Walking Dead caught me up with everything, and I don't feel like I missed out on anything.
Yeah, that's how I was. I watched
And
the
I'm just like,
mid-season premiere.
I haven't watched anything since the governor lost his eye.
and I'm kind of over it now, and so I'm moving on. But
I do like the theory that the walkers are going to go extinct in the next couple of seasons, and then the new world will be here, and the series will be over. If that's the way they actually do end up working it, that'll be that'll be a good way.
Well, I mean that's kind of the theory behind like how the movie 28 Days Later ended.
Hmm.
Was that one, they were confined to England, which is an island, and they couldn't really get off there, so
Actually,
eventually got-
England is just one country on the island of Great Britain. There's that. Sorry.
except for I was actually saying the fact that it was confined to England, which is an island.
England is
So
not an island. England is a country on an island with 2 other countries. It shares the island with Wales and Scotland. Boom!
Uh,
I don't get to
whatever.
win. I don't get to win much. Let me win.
geography jammed. Um,
Anyways,
so I have discovered this new thing. It's new to me. It's apparently not a new thing. People have been doing it for a while now. I've discovered
planking,
this.
yeah, it's over.
What?
Planking, it's over.
Oh, well, yeah. I'm late to the party. So, I have discovered virtual races.
Virtual races?
Virtual races. Now, I'm going to explain this concept,
Is
and
it,
just follow me. Just follow me here. It is.
What the hell happened?
now before you explain it, just let me ask you quickly.
Whoa,
Is this?
hold on, whoa! What was that?
It sounded like Mikey dying.
did,
I coughed.
Oh, okay.
I covered the mic and then coughed one time.
That sounded like an explosion.
It sounded like you coughed up a cookie sheet.
Cookies.
Wow. Anyway,
So
Shit, I've got tacos.
is the virtual races thing you talking about? Is it a gym related thing?
no. Well,
Okay.
it is.
Because there's one there's something I've seen that's similar to what I would imagine you're going to say, but
Okay.
at the
So
gym.
this is what you do. For people that, for whatever reason, can't or won't run a traditional 5K, 10K, half marathon.
Losers.
Right. You're gonna feel bad about that comment in a second. When I finish all this, you're gonna feel bad.
BJ never feels bad.
For people
He should feel bad.
that don't actually go run these events
Mhm.
for whatever reason, for time and whatnot, but
Too much sand in the vagina. I get it.
they run every day, or they walk every day, and they do their same the same training and everything that other people do, but they're just not able to go to these actual events. There's these websites, and I found 4 of them that have virtual races, and you run your race and you do your distance at your own pace and on your own schedule, and then you submit your mileage and your time, and they send you a medal
Oh.
for having run this race.
So it's good for people that maybe live 50 miles from the nearest 5K. They just, for a matter of convenience.
Like if they live in Yantis, for example.
Right, exactly. And a lot of these are for charity.
Mhm.
And I have found there's one called Virtual Strides, and it's virtualstrides.com. Right now they're running one called Seize the Day, and it's $28, and it benefits the Citizens United Research in Epilepsy. So it's an epilepsy foundation.
Did you have a little seizure trying to say it?
There.
I did. And you pick your distance of 5K, 10K, half marathon, and you can do it in little chunks. You can do it all at one time. You just submit your mileage and your time until you hit your final goal, and then they send you your race medal, just like you would any other regular race. Then there's one that appears to be defunct now because they haven't updated it, called Will Run for Bling and Charity. But they do have some older medals that you can order, and they'll tell you how to get to the site to input your mileage. And a lot of these will send you a race bib as well, because people will collect their runner number and whatnot. And so they send you your race bib as well. One that I signed up for is called moonjoggers.com, and it started out back in 2013 of trying to, as a community, run to the moon.
Oh.
And now the 2016 goal is Mercury, is to get to Mercury. And so you have your overall goal of trying to get to Mercury, but every month they have a different themed run. Like this month, for February and March, it's Running for Love, and you actually get 2 medals and 2 bibs, and the medals are each side of the hands that make a heart, like the thumbs come together and the fingers come together and they make a heart. And so you get 2 medals and 2 bibs, and it's for the American Heart Association. And then the march is the running of the pie, and it's this piece of pie. The medal is a piece of pie that's running, and it supports the National Kidney Foundation. And so they have all these. They have all these different ones every month. The one for April that I'm absolutely going to do is supporting the Testicular Cancer Research Society.
Mm.
It's their annual Spaceballs run. This one is Comb the Desert, so it's the 2 guys with the giant comb, and the comb says #check your balls.
That's great.
And so, yeah, it's these virtual 5Ks. Then there's this last one I found that I want to bring up. It's called MakeYesHappen.com. Their virtual races aren't like 5K, 10K like that. They're actually more of trying to get from point A to point B. Like they have all roads lead to Rome. And it is synced with Google Maps, and so every time you log your miles, it moves your person along the map, and you're going to run the 27.3 miles across Rome. And then you get this amazing medal with a Spartan helmet, 2 swords, and the Colosseum on it.
Why would you have a Greek helmet on a...
Or a Rome, I guess I mean, it looks like a Spartan helmet.
Like a Legionnaire's helmet kind of thing?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool, though.
There's the Race to Oz. Hang
on, does it have like little checkpoints, or does it just say, okay, you did 8 miles today, so...
Well, see, here's the thing. You log your miles on here, but the cool thing about Make Yes Happen is it syncs with Fitbit. So all of your Fitbit miles count toward your goal, and it syncs with Garmin, and it syncs with Map My Run, and all these other fitness apps that you already use. It syncs with it, and so you just do your thing, and like you do your Map My Run, you do your Fitbit thing, and it automatically syncs it, and then once you hit your goal, then they send you an email like, congratulations, you finished your goal. Your medal is on its way.
That's cool.
So like the Oz one is 26.2 miles across Kansas. There's the Route 66 challenge of walking 66 miles. The Dublin pub crawl. It's a 30-mile pub crawl across Dublin, Ireland. The medal for that one looks like a pint of Guinness, but it's also a bottle opener.
I just want that.
I know, right?
I would do it just for that.
So yeah, it looks like a pint of Guinness, and it's a bottle opener. And they're only like $25 a piece to sign up for it. And so yeah, this is really, it's a really fun way to kind of motivate yourself because you have something to show for it at the end of the day. And with like the ones that are where you actually pick your distance, your 5K, your 10K, whatever, you can do your normal like daily walking, running workout, and then like on Sunday afternoon you decide you're going to go do your 5K, so you go to the park and you start your timer, and then you go run, walk, whatever, a 5K, and you just did that one race. And you don't have to travel for it. You don't have to make sure that you're free on the weekend that they're doing it. If the weather's bad, you don't have to do it, and you have the entire month to get it done. Or you can do it in little bits. If you get on the treadmill every day for a mile, then at the end of the week you've done your 5K. So yeah, it's pretty fun. I'm gonna definitely, when I get paid next week, sign up for one of these.
That's cool.
No, I don't know. It may have been that you posted about it, but I had actually heard of it.
I may have posted about it when I joined up. It may have because it connected to Facebook or something. It may have posted something there or something like that. But yeah, it's pretty neat. And I mean, you're essentially paying for the medal, like the Make Yes Happen with all like the Road to Rome and the Race to Oz and whatnot. Those aren't for charity. Those are just for fun, and you're basically paying $25 to get your medal. Um, but the other ones do have a charitable contribution attached to it. It's 20% of the total registrations for that event get donated to charity. And then you get your medal. And so you can have your fun little medal collection.
That's
So, yeah, I thought it was pretty neat. I thought it was a fun way to do races without having to be a slave to a schedule.
right.
And do it on your time when it's convenient for you. So, yeah,
That's cool.
there you go. There's my.
Well, that's cool. But like the reason I made the, you know,
Yeah, no, I know.
weakling
Yeah.
comment or something like that earlier. This story actually goes along with the Asians are better thing.
Oh, God.
No, have you ever heard of the Kaihogyo?
No, I haven't.
They're part of this like Buddhist thing. They're called like the marathon monks,
Okay.
and they do this. It's part of this this path to enlightenment. It's like 1,000-day challenge for like 1,000 days straight. They run a marathon every day.
Oh, good God.
The bare minimum, like on the very beginning, like year one, is they do 30 kilos a day.
Ooh.
And then by the end, they're doing 84 kilos a day. 84 kilometers a day that these guys are doing. And let me see. Only one man is ever known to have done it twice. And he died pretty recently at the age of 60. And only
Oh,
40.
God, that's 52 miles.
Yeah. Only 46 men have completed the 1,000-day challenge since 1885. I guess that's when they started keeping the record. And here's the thing. This is how hard these monks go. Okay, we all know Buddhist monks, they go hard anyway.
Right.
But if you're actually, after a selection process, if you're accepted into this challenge, if you quit, you have to commit suicide. So, like, you can go, if you get injured or something like that, they're not jerks. Like, if you get injured, they're like, okay, you're out. Sorry. I guess you're never going to know enlightenment. But if you just straight up quit, man, you've got to straight up do that whole open your belly thing with a dagger, I guess. Because, I mean, can you imagine that? If I tried to jog to the store right now, I would be winded. I can't imagine jogging. What did you say, like 50 miles?
53 miles.
53 miles a day?
Hold on, what? Where are you getting 53 miles from? Sorry.
Yeah, and year one, it's 30 kilos a day for
Okay.
100 days, and it stays that way until year 5 when it jumps up to or year 4 when it jumps up to 40. Year 6, you're going 60, and then year 7, you're doing 84 kilometers a day
Wow.
for 100 days straight. So I just don't know how someone's feet could handle that.
You know what? I think I'll just sleep instead.
Yeah, I mean, I've got,
I'll complete that challenge.
yeah.
I'll take I'll take a 30-minute nap every day for 4 years.
I just want to go up to him and be like, dude, we have cars now. Like, if you want to circle the mountain, just hop in the Jeep, man. I'll take you. You don't have to do this.
Well, but I mean, I can understand on some level about the, about the like spirituality through sacrifice and all that kind of stuff. But
Oh yeah, I mean,
couldn't do it. I mean,
hell no.
I have a hard enough time, thinking of something to give up for 40 days for Lent.
Well, exactly my point. Like, I would start, and after like maybe 10 kilos, I would turn and look at all the other Buddhist monks and be like, "We're doing this, right? Yeah, okay, here's the problem. Does Buddha look like he ever did this? And he reached enlightenment just fine." I mean,
Right.
We were going right back to the statue to pray later. Look how big he was.
I saw
A jogger he was not.
I saw a political cartoon that had Buddha and Jesus talking to each other, and Buddha was actually depicted as a smaller person, a skinnier person, and Buddha's like, I really wish my people had not had gotten had done a better representation because they always draw me as super fat. And Jesus goes, yeah, I always look like a muscled up white guy.
He was, though.
Right, exactly.
Thank you, Megan Kelly.
Rock me, sexy Jesus.
So,
God, that movie.
Oh, man.
I know it's old, but I just saw it yesterday, and I know Chris, you haven't seen it just based on your. Has anybody else seen Tusk?
Yeah.
Beach has.
Yeah.
I watched it yesterday, and wow.
How weird was seeing Justin Long in that?
That was
so disturbing.
The very end actually has stuck with me. Like about just
yeah,
like it goes back to what Michael Parks was saying at that one point that he ended up there through his own choices and mistakes.
Yeah, it's just.
But it was like I told Chris it was Red State meets Human Centipede meets awesome performance by Johnny Depp.
Yeah, yeah. I can't wait to see his character in Yoga Hosers.
Yeah.
I mean, it's.
I read a scathing review of Yoga Hosers.
Yeah, all the like legitimate quote critics are just railing it, but actual audience members are like, I had fun because I knew what I was going into. It's the same kind of thing. Like when Mallrats came out, it was just railed. Oh, it was hated. But in retrospect, everybody's like, that was a fun little flick.
As opposed to Cop Out, which was railed, and everybody else said, yeah, that sucked.
What's Cop Out?
It's the one that Kevin. It's the one.
Exactly.
I refuse to acknowledge it.
It's the one where we realized that maybe Kevin Smith isn't as nice of a person as he claims to be.
Oh, him and
Bruce Willis, and then Timothy Olyphant. Like after you kind of hear about both of these stories, and you wonder.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it makes you wonder: is Kevin Smith? Is it Kevin Smith or is it them?
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's one of those things. It's like he didn't write the movie; he just directed it. So it's like, how much can a director? And I'm not defending it because
he still made the choice. That's the thing. I mean, the movie sucked.
Yeah.
Like I watched and I was like, wow, I really wish that I would have gone to another Kevin Smith speaking engagement where he wasn't pimping this movie so hard because I will now remember that I had to listen to a bunch of stories about a movie that sucked.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I'm anxious to see it. I want to see how well his daughter and
Johnny Depp's
daughter do. Yeah.
What is her name? Colleen or something like that?
No, Lily Rose.
Okay.
Oh, really?
Yes,
Oh.
Lily Rose Depp.
So that's where y'all got the name.
I don't know if that's where she got it. She's named Lily after Harry Potter's mother.
Yeah. Oh, did y'all know that the new Harry Potter series is set in America?
Yes.
Yeah, there's going to be like four stories, I think.
Yeah, I didn't even know that there was an American.
Oh no, yeah, she acknowledged that years ago that there was an American. There's like 6 or 7 internationally.
Well, I mean, it makes sense now, and like what I saw of it, seems like they may take an interesting path with it. Like,
I think aren't they going to say like isn't the American one supposedly near Salem?
Yeah, well, like they talk about. Apparently, they're going to go over the history of American, witching, from like the Native Americans having didn't need wands because they were so powerful and stuff like that. They didn't have to focus their thing, and they were shapeshifters. And how apparently something happened in Salem, Massachusetts, in the 1690s, where totally justifiably people were hanged, I guess. But yeah, it's supposed to be set in New York, I think is what this one, Fantastic Beast, whatever it's called, something about beasts.
Mythical
Fantastic Beasts and
creatures and where to find them.
Yeah, it almost sounds like she lifted Pandora's box, that story, and because apparently this guy like opens a box and all these beasts jump out and start running amok in New York. But
Muck, 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 muck.
that's the best witchcraft movie ever. I don't care what anybody says. Hocus Pocus, timeless. I watch it every year, and I'm not gonna stop.
Zachary,
You
Zachary
can watch it if you
Dean.
want to.
Huh?
You can leave your friends behind.
Eh,
Because if friends don't watch Hocus Pocus, then they ain't no friends of mine.
it's true.
And
Then we are
she
not
was-
friends.
See?
You go watch
No,
your
but-
Hallmark movies.
Well, Chris unfriended me about not liking the Land Before Time movies.
You didn't
Or-
like The
okay,
Land
you
Before
don't
Time?
like The Land Before Time for a stupid reason.
No, I like it. I don't like it for a very legitimate reason. I don't want them teaching our kids bullshit.
Okay. We all know that these dinosaurs didn't all coexist.
Oh no, I'm more worried about the names. I don't want my kid going into kindergarten saying, "What kind of dinosaur is that?" It's a long neck. And then my
What?
kid being told that he's
See, exactly. That is the dumbest reason.
no. I'm sorry. If you're gonna make a movie for kids with dinosaurs, you should at least give them the proper names.
Yes, because little kids can pronounce dinosaurs' names. They, in fact, exactly said that on Jurassic World.
Jurassic
We
World.
had to give it a name that a 4-year-old can say.
Yeah. And they got close. Ducky. Duckbill platypus. You know, I mean, they tried.
We survived just fine and knowing the names of the dinosaurs. So I'm just saying.
But see, I knew. But by the time Land Before Time came out, I knew the names of the dinosaurs
So
Yeah.
because I was like in second or third grade by that point.
Okay,
it's a
smart.
wonderfully endearing movie.
Okay, smarty pants. What about this? They don't even know what dinosaurs were actually legitimate and what aren't. In the last 15 years, the Brontosaurus has been classified, reclassified, and then declassified numerous times. They're like, "Oh, Brontosaurus was totally a thing." Actually, no, it wasn't. Yeah, it was. You know, or like the Triceratops and the
I
other
would
ones.
buy
They
your
don't even-
argument, BJ, if it wasn't for the fact that we actually have animals that are alive now that we are still trying to figure out how to classify them. It's a constant thing in the science community of trying to figure out exactly how to classify something. That argument is somewhat invalid by the fact that science is an ever-changing field.
Okay,
doesn't
English
always-
is an ever-changing field. The very language itself shifts and changes over time. When Jesus Christ came down from heaven,
God.
We didn't speak English; we spoke Aramaic.
no, he spoke English because that's what the book's written in.
Seems legit.
And it's the good book,
It is the good book.
which is
Is that anything like
Algonquin
the good
for
foot?
the good land. Wow.
Have y'all seen Krampus? It's so fun.
No. I
No.
wanted
Not
to.
yet. No.
It's actually really fun. Like,
I wanted to, but I have a baby.
yeah. Well, it's
Yeah,
not,
that'll do that to you.
not for kids.
Well, no, we would have gone and seen it, but we just didn't have time. We got to see one movie, and we chose between Krampus and The Night Before, and we went with The Night
Well,
Before.
I mean, you could. It probably wouldn't be bad to take your kids to see Krampus. I mean, they've been telling the story of Krampus in Germany for 1,000 years, and look what happened. Oh wait, Germans maybe didn't turn out to be the best people in the world.
No, I mean I'll watch it. It's just it was
Yeah,
there was just no good time to see it once
no,
after we
it-
got back from Thanksgiving because it
it's-
was also finals and everything. So
God, I know that feeling. It's one of those movies. Don't go into it taking anything seriously. It's so over the top.
oh no, I could
Wow.
tell when you've got David Kitchener and Adam Scott as your stars, you don't go into a movie taking it
Oh
seriously.
no.
Like the only serious horror movie I've ever seen Adam Scott in was Hellraiser 4, and let's face it, that was a straight to video Hellraiser, so they were kind of going downhill at that point.
Yeah, he was running out of ideas on how to raise hell.
But
No,
Yeah, he still came up with 5 more.
they really do strike a good balance between dark humor
Horror,
and
horror comedy.
yeah, like dark humor and legitimate creep factor. Like the look of the little beasties that they use, pretty creepy. But it's done in kind of a over the top, almost Raimi-esque way.
Right.
So it's good. Check it out.
All right.
All right. Well, we're at an hour.
Yep.
So, anybody have anything else to talk about? Beach knows where I was trying to about how I was going to end that sentence. I was fighting not to. I was like, I can't think of any other way to end that sentence.
Old habits die hard.
They do.
Looks like Trump may be our president, so
Oh God, I can't.
Word.
Oh yeah.
So-
Mike and Chris, I have appreciation for you for dealing with students. After last week, I went and I voted, and I came and like I had the little I voted sticker on when I came back, and the OM team that I coach would not stop asking me who I voted for, and I was just like, I'm not going to tell you because it doesn't matter what I voted for. I guarantee you, there's going to be one of your parents that they find out they're going to say that maybe they should rethink me being their coach.
God, what did you write in Hitler? I mean,
No, it's like
I mean,
That's
seriously.
just how it is.
no, it really is how it is because like I've heard how some of these kids talk about what the direction of the country, and I'm just like, no, I'm not going to tell you who I voted for because that's just not a conversation that's going to end well at all.
Yeah, I just don't understand the vitriol, why people are so pissy with each other. Now, if somebody says I voted for Trump, I'm just like, okay, that's your decision, man. But I'm not going to berate them over it. You know,
Yeah.
it's
Well,
like,
no,
wait,
I won't either. I mean, I might judge them silently for their decision, but I also got upset about the fact that when I went to vote, like you are pretty much required because of how they've got it set up. Everybody there can see what party you're voting for. So
oh yeah, you have to vocally declare
yeah,
what party. And I don't agree with that personally.
I don't either because it doesn't like no matter what direction you go, that kind of
Mhm.
like that takes away some of the anonymity of the voting process. Like you shouldn't even know what party I'm voting for because it's none of your business.
Yeah, and honestly, I think that's one thing that the British and the Commonwealth in general really have on us, the parliamentary system, where you have all the candidates from every party on one page, and let's say you've got 10 candidates. You know, you put the 10 next to the guy you don't want, and the 1 next to the guy you want the most, and then you go through 2, 3, 4, and that's how their people are chosen. It's not about who wins the vast majority. It's about who most people can agree on.
Right.
You know, and I think that system's a lot better. That way you don't have to worry about falling into the straight party trap.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's got faults. Don't get me wrong, because you can win an election with 15% of the vote.
Right.
But it's better to have 15% of everybody all agreeing that you're the best man for the job, as opposed to potentially 49% of the country hating you. And that's kind of the way we're at right now.
Yep.
Oh, politics.
So
Okay.
on that positive note,
Yeah.
So
Oh, Nancy Reagan died, guys.
yeah,
The war on drugs is over. We're free. We won. We won the
All you
vote.
double agents can come out of hiding.
wow.
We made it, guys. We beat her.
We can just say yes. God.
My landlord
Yeah.
was like, BJ, why are you on the roof screaming at the moon, smoking? I'd be like, what do you think?
BJ is going to be the story from The Simpsons. Old man raised his fist at sky for no reason.
No, I'll have a reason. I'm happy. I'm good to go, man. War on drugs is over. I'm be doing rails in church.
Oh no,